I've had a very, very busy day. Got a lot of things accomplished, and my day started about 4:45 this morning. I hadn't been in the woods yet here in West Virginia to bow hunt, but my son Jeff and my grandson Solomon, they did some hunting. And when we got there, I had built this year a built on 2x6s, and uh, Jeff, my son Jeff, he's not a little guy, and Solomon is 12 years old, and so the three of us were climbing up in this little hut, and it was 5 foot by. The little hut is 5 foot by 4 foot, and so it just wasn't going to work out. Solomon was in there, and he was going to be the shooter with the crossbow today, and Jeff was in there, and he had Solomon kind of in front of him, and I started to climb in there. This isn't going to. By the time all three of us were in there, the only room I had was a stand, crammed in the corner. And Jeff said, "I'm going to go back to the Jeep. I'm going to go back to the vehicle. It's okay. You and Solomon, what we could do." But so Jeff climbed down and took his little flashlight, walked back up over the hill towards the vehicle and away from us, and he sat and watched the deer, and he had his phone, and he became our scout. And he pointed out, "Hey, there's 3 deer coming." I hated it that Jeff wasn't in the hut with us, but it worked out okay. And we saw about 20 deer. No deer came close enough for Solomon to get a shot, but we had a good time. We got back to the vehicle, and Jeff, we all were glad to have spent a little time together. And but it made me think, the Lord, He wants to be right there with us. I wanted Jeff right in the hut with us, and we just, because of the cramped space, we just couldn't work it out. But listen to what Jesus said: "The door and knock, and hear my voice and open the door, I will come in." It's interesting, in that verse, Jesus said that he would knock at the door, but then he said, "If any man hear my voice." So Jesus knocks at the door, and then he uses his voice and asks, like, to come in. And he wants to be with us, wants to be close to us. There's a verse in the little book of Zephaniah, only 3 chapters long. Zephaniah 3:17 says, "The Lord thy God is in the midst of thee. He's mighty. He will save. He will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. He will